Although the wind howls like a storm inside, oh let it go, fear not, but be at ease. The heat ne'er bothered are to anyway. Hey everybody, welcome back to Taryn's Books and Beyond and day 16 of VEDUS. As you can see, I completed the 4th act of the Tragedy of the Sith's Revenge, which had that weird Frozen reference. This one wasn't actually as strong as the other acts in this play. Now, there is some interesting stuff in this act, namely a kind of debate as to how much of Anakin remains inside Darth Vader. But that whole thing kind of goes against what I just said yesterday about how the fact that his name changes to Vader in the script kind of cements the fact that Anakin is gone. Yoda, of course, supports this idea that Anakin has essentially been killed by Darth Vader, and Obi-Wan isn't quite sure, but he does say that in the future he might be able to accept this from a certain point of view. And then you've also got Vader expressing doubts about the stuff he's doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still killing people. I mean, you can't have the movie without Darth Vader slaughtering everyone in the Jedi Temple, but he does stuff like, he expresses doubts in his monologues, and he doesn't kill the younglings until he confirms that they've said their prayers, because he doesn't want to kill their souls. Like, that's almost merciful, and we're not expecting mercy from Vader at this point, because we've expected Anakin to completely turn. I can certainly appreciate making things more gradual, making it a slow slide down the slope instead of completely jumping off, but then I feel like if you wanted to do it like that, you should have saved the name change, changing Anakin to Vader in the script for a more meaningful part, like when he fights Obi-Wan, instead of having it in the previous act. I guess it's not a huge thing, but it just kind of bugs me that that whole name change thing could have had more impact if you delayed Anakin's. Other stuff in the 4th act includes, once again, that little meta scene between two random Jedi, and this one also was not as strong as the previous ones. In this one, they're discussing what Order 66 could mean, because they can't find it in the Codex for the clone troopers, and one Jedi's like, oh, what if it means the destruction of the Jedi? But it's like, the other two were really clever, and I feel this one is not nearly as witty and as amusing when it hits the 4th wall as the other ones do. It's just kind of a weird kind of foreshadowing. It doesn't work as well as the previous two did. Of course, there's only one act left in this play, and then I'll be completely finished the prequel trilogy, and I have confidence that it'll bounce back and it'll finish just as strong as the rest of the play has been. On to Certain Point of View, and today's story is The Secrets of Long Snoot by Delilah S. Dawson, and it concerns Long Snoot, aka Garindan. He's the Imperial informant that has the long snout going on down there. I was concerned just because this story is once again another story about someone who lives on Tatooine and they have to get off Tatooine. However, this one was able to win me over because it's less about escaping from Tatooine and more about the effect the Empire has had on other planets. For example, Garindan's homeworld of Kabindi. The Empire sent down a lot of propaganda droids telling them that they'd been blocked off and were being kept from learning about spacefaring by the Rebellion, not the Empire. Of course, it was the Empire's doing it. When the Empire said, hey, we're going to train a bunch of you guys to be spies and diplomats and all that kind of stuff, they were so happy and they all went into the Empire ship, and then they're basically brainwashed to become the Empire's spies. However, it doesn't take with Garindan, so he's able to escape, and he can't get back to his homeworld because there's an Imperial blockade. So he goes to Tatooine and he starts this huge spy network to get himself all the money he needs in order to get through the blockade and to get back to his homeworld, where he will carry all the plans for spaceships and anti-air stuff that will help them take down the Empire themselves. The only downside is that it ends with this weird hook that seems to be linking it to another story, but I have no idea which story. I mean, other stories in here, when they end with like the cliffhanger sequel hooks, you know what it's leading into because it's generally referencing something else that's going to happen in the movie or in the rest of the trilogy. But here, I think it's like a side story, a novella, or one of the comics, and I'm not as familiar with those, so I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to lead into. It's still a very strong story, but just because that ends on such a weird note, I can only give it 4 stars. But that's everything for today's update. I hope you guys liked it, and remember, if you want to keep watching me vlog every day until Star Wars, then you can hit that subscribe button. You can also check out daily updates on my Instagram. Well, sort of daily updates. I have been slipping a little, but hey, better to slip on Instagram than slip on the actual daily vlog thing I'm trying to do. And you can also see how I'm progressing through everything on my Goodreads page, so you can watch and be amazed as I leap through all the Star Wars plays and then slowly slog through Certain Point of View 10 pages at a time. Anyways, until tomorrow, I'll see you all later.